It warms my heart to see SJW institutions like Worldcon, the World Science Fiction Convention, going down in flames as they eat their own. We have a very, very funny report over the last several days where some information about the last Hugo Awards in Worldcon China, of course, never expected to have problems in China of all places, has created a major controversy with people like Neil Gaiman even chiming in on it. Absolutely crazy. We're going to get into the news in just a moment. I'm a #1 best-selling author and a award-winning comic creator. I was banned from Worldcon 2018. They libeled me, called me a racist bully. I took them to court and I won, and I nearly bankrupted them that year. They spent over $100,000 just to try to harass me. It's really sad to watch, but that's what happens when you disagree with any of the politics of these woke weirdos. And so I am fighting the culture war here. I hope you'll subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you. And I also hope you'll subscribe to my Subscribestar. I, of course, make my own fiction, from comics to science fiction. I've got a steampunk series that I do. And we have a lot of fun. So if you want to support us, be like our patron here and help us be able to just make art outside of the establishment, I really appreciate you for being there. That link's in the description below, along with links to my books from my own bookstore and, of course, up on Amazon as well. So please check those out. So here's the story of the day. Neil Gaiman blasts Chengdu Worldcon, Hugo Award ineligibility debacle. So what happened is it came out that several works were deemed ineligible by the Worldcon committee. Now, they just marked that it's ineligible under the rules. They didn't state why. Of course, that's what's happened. Ever since the lawsuit with me, when they actually said why I was banned, they called me a racist bully. And of course, that made me able to sue them. So if they stated why, that there was some political problem or whatever, and it wasn't true, these people might be able to sue or whatever. So all these companies now and all these places like Worldcon now go, nope, we're just not telling you. We're just doing it, and we're just playing by our rules. Refer to the terms. Refer to the terms of service. Yes, but which terms of service did I? Refer to the terms of service. That's how they do things. It's all a big liability game at this point, because none of these people actually have points about anything that they're doing. They don't actually have dialogue. They don't actually want to resolve issues. They just want to make their decision and, of course, have you live by their rules all the time. That's what the woke do, and it's a big gaslighting operation. So I don't know what happened here, but Neil Gaiman's Sandman was declared ineligible. Another lady, her short story Babel was declared ineligible. And maybe it was just the Chinese government going, this is too political. Maybe there's too much gay shit in there. Who knows? They don't particularly like the American woke stuff. Now, they support it. China funds a lot of it over here, but they do it to disrupt our society. They don't want their society disrupted. So a lot of this stuff doesn't get attention because of that. Well, Neil Gaiman took exception to it. Of course, there's N.K. Jemisin and her woke award, holding it very phallic a few years back. Here he goes. He says, "Is there anyone who could actually explain why Sandman episode 6 was ineligible? I don't recall any politics in the episode. It was SF or fantasy and had not been previously released. And if Sandman 6 was ineligible, then why didn't that reinstate Sandman as a whole series, given it was ineligible as there were too many votes for individual episodes?" Well, somebody chimed in here, says, "The only statement from the administration team I can share is the one that I already have. After we reviewed the Constitution and rules we must follow, we determined the work was not eligible." So why is it ineligible? Because it's not eligible. Well, but why? Because it's not eligible. Refer to the Constitution. But I don't know what the Constitution... Please, it's not eligible. This is how they do it. So he goes back, "Can you explain why? It's a work of fantasy or sci-fi related. It's neither political, should this be a problem, nor pornographic, ditto." That's debatable. "Is the black actor playing death? Is it a reference to Judaism? Is it life after death?" So it's not political. And here's all of the woke crap I put into this story that changed the actual story. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. "Stating it was ineligible for reasons you cannot tell us simply adds a level of mystery to the process that makes the entire Hugo voting process appear illegitimate." Now, Neil Gaiman actually applauded the blacklisting of the Sad Puppies and Vox Day and all of that when it was done back in 2016, 2017. And of course, after 2017, they revised their rules so that, outsiders who were not approved by the establishment basically could not get their award nominations. And so he was cool with that. Once it happened there, it was fine. But once it happened to him, once his book it actually a TV show based on his book, was not eligible, suddenly it's a problem. Gosh, these people have no self-awareness whatsoever. It's always about rules for thee and not for me with these people. But here Neil Gaiman goes and whines even further about it. I've been peripherally involved in the Hugos for the last 37 years. I've been awarded multiple Hugos and failed to win just as many Hugos, and never worried nor gave it a moment's thought. Gosh, for never giving it a moment's thought, he's certainly concerned about this at this point. It's obvious that he just wanted to, stir up his accolades, stir up his following, and try to get them to blast these people in order to, get them to apologize for not giving him an award, basically. It's absolutely absurd. But this is SJWs are just a clout-based system, and everything's in that little pyramid of clout. And he's got major Neil Gaiman clout in that pyramid system, so you better respect it. Other than knowing the process was fair. Until now, one of those things has always been refreshing about the Hugos has been the transparency and clarity of process. Even the sad puppies nonsense was something easy to deal with because the process was transparent. Gosh, that's not how he acted at the time. If you remember, he went ballistic on the sad puppies, and it was very, very sad to watch. It was all over politics, and we know what it is. Something had gone wrong, but it was fixable and was fixed. That's rigging the awards against people so they couldn't get nominated. Totally cool. That was fixed. But since that now it's been rigged by the Chinese so that they can't have Neil Gaiman nominated, that's a bad thing. You see how this works? You see how these people have no principles whatsoever? It's just about them. It's just about their narcissism. It's just about their identities all the time. That is why they're so miserable. That's why they're trying to make everybody else miserable. But gosh, it's just really funny. Worldcon has been a train wreck forever. And of course, as it spirals and spirals and just makes itself further and further irrelevant, you can't help but laugh at this stuff. I've been laughing because these people are responsible for getting me blacklisted from the industry years ago. I'll never get on one of these award ballots, not for my journalism, not for my writing, nothing. It doesn't matter because, of course, no matter the good work I do, I'm not politically on the same team as them. And will Neil Gaiman ever fight for me in this regard? Absolutely not. He didn't fight for me to not be banned from Worldcon 2018. He of course, probably applauded it. It's absolutely crazy at the end of the day how these people just don't have any sort of moral code over than what's good for me right now. Very sad. All right, leave a comment down below. Make sure to sign up for the subscribe star, my friends. Hit the like and subscribe button. I really appreciate you being there.